We were sipping whiskey neat, highest floor of the Bowery, and I was high enough somewhere. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a VeVe OMI DEFX VeeFriends update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi and the Yoshi boys. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Love y'all. There's a couple of things we have to go over here. And we also have Greg Wyke, who is coming in at about 30 minutes. So we do have a little bit to cover before he comes on. OMI up about 3.5% on the day. We are at 0001487. We actually did hit 150. Actually, we hit 151 a couple of times. Yeah, there's a couple of candles where we closed out at above 150, and then a wicked sell, pushing us all the way back down to 1420, which got eaten up pretty quickly. Like the candle didn't even close there; it got bought up, and then we've been around that line ever since. We went down a little bit, up, down, So we'll see where that lands us on the VeVe side today. So the drop was, what's today's date? It seems like, I guess because I did a live last night, that there was like an extra day in between the drop that we did yesterday and then the live that I'm doing right now. But there wasn't. That drop did happen yesterday, grossed $100,000 in 20-ish minutes. And so it's like, okay, well, VeVe's not really going to, make anything today because the drop was yesterday. Now they make some stuff in the secondary market, but no one's really going to buy anything from the store, right? Well, now that we got a bunch of people back, new users or old users returning, combination of both, we actually did have a couple of things happen. There's a couple more people that bought some Street Fighter, the M Bisons, where there's still like none of them that are sold, but at least a couple more, adding like another 1,000 each, give or take. The Star Wars drop, there's another couple $100 over there. Long story short, between everything, we had like 100 more Phoenix 5s go get sold, which is great. Not the Mad Lads, the lads from the London Police, this sold a little bit as well. This is actually almost sold out. This actually has what's 10, 16. This only has like 26 editions left, and it's the number 3, and I'm going to say the number 4. Yeah, and the number 4. There's only a total of like 26 left between the two. The rest of them are sold out. So there's been a bunch of people that have been buying this. I think because they're going to do more airdrops. Like aside from Brock McBreadcat with the fiches, that does the most airdrops out of like anyone. The London Police are really known for that. One, they have great art, but also even with this, you do anything, you get to craft your doggo. I have a doggo. He's great. I love him. I don't think I have a really special mint for him. I'll show you guys in a sec. Number 979, nice little palindrome. But anyway, there's a couple of those that had sold, and then more of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, just because of the fact that the number 87 special edition still hasn't been minted. So there's people constantly trying to buy that. There's actually another 4 that was bought just in the last like hour or so. So I'm going to go and take a look at Raphael and see if one of those that had sold or that was minted was a special edition. And if it was, is it the number 87? It was not. It was a special edition. It was mint number 78, not 87. Who is this? Sorry, I got someone that's nope. Anyway, so a bunch of that. So there was an extra like $5,000 today that VeVe had made, like even when there's no drop, which is there are some drops that they've done that didn't make that. So an extra $5,000 when there's no official drop on the day is pretty good, especially when people are saving for 1, Star Wars month, and 2, I don't know how much people are going to be like saving for Ren and Stimpy. Like, yeah, I gotta save a couple $100 gems for that. I think people will go in and get 1 or 2. They might try for the special edition because it's a little bit of an easier drop. Avatar Aang, $40. Solo Leveling, $40. I didn't even budget for this. I just YOLO. I'm just like, I'm going to pay myself back when certain things happen, which I think will happen soon. this deal I've been talking about, in which it goes through and I get a little bit more OMI, would be great. It might take another week though. I was hoping it would go one day last week, has not yet. Either way, $40 for each of those, then $30 for Jean Grey, $30 for Cyclops. And even the last not Rocco's Modern Life, Ren and Stimpy drop was $25, but this one, it's only $20 to pull. So there's probably going to be people that'll pull a couple of times. Again, I don't think people are necessarily going to be like, oh yeah, I need to save up gems for that. They'll just take whatever gems that they have. They'll go and pull once or twice. The Marvel Boy that we have tomorrow, I think that'll make a couple $100. The Iron Fist, first appearance Iron Fist on the 23rd of April, that'll sell out pretty instantly. I assume there's going to be a bounty for that. But again, that's actually, I don't know if there can be. This came out in 1972, and there's only 1,000 editions. I mean, like 901 because they keep 99. So yeah, I don't know if that's going to be. But either way, that'll be an extra $6 or whatever. The Ren and Stimpy, I start off at 10 because the last one I think made 30 grand, and this one it's just got a little bit more favorable odds to get a to not get a common, because last time there was 1991 commons. In this one, there's a lot less, 12.99. So that comes down a bit, and the odds of getting a secret rare or the special edition is greater. Oh, the special edition, that is a big chase. There's only 29 of those. And then obviously you have Avatar, which people are definitely going to save some gems for, because the special edition Sokka, I think there's like 25. There's 25 of these freaking things, which is bananas. So yeah, at the end of the day, we have made $459,000 for VeVe this month, and we'll easily blow past that $500,000. Boo saying yas, babe. Reckless saying what up. VeVe special mints are going bananas. I'll be talking about that. VeeFriends speculation, and then we'll have to do that in like 20 minutes because we got Greg White coming on. Zombie saying, yo, what up, Zombie? Meow, meow. Hold on, my tablet's going a little crazy here. Chilling a vibe. It says Randy. Virgo says the lads have a contest about to start and an airdrop and a coin coming. Yeah, so they're doing a lot, and the people are rewarding them for it. They made over 40 grand on that drop. That is incredible. Penguin Colados, the honest question: how do you feel about all the projects that you promoted that ended up dropping hard or even going under? None that I guess bump would be the only thing, but aside from that, I mean, everything in crypto has gone down over the years. So but again, aside from bump, which I even offered, like it was last year, maybe it was end of 2024. I think it was the end of 2024, maybe early 2025. I forget when it was, but it was over a year ago. Where I was like, you guys good? And I offered to like, hey, give me part of the company. Like, what do you need? Like, I offered a way out on a silver platter. Let me buy some of the company, give me some tokens, give me whatever, and they turned me down. They're like, no. Okay. So I figured they were still good. And then X amount of months later, nobody heard anything in a while, and it's just like, okay, yeah, this is but aside from that, everything else is doing great. You wouldn't know it just based on the token price, like whether it's DEVVE, Fias, Definity, or VeVe. Well, I guess VeVe has the OMI token, but yeah, all of the companies behind the token are doing great. It's just the token themselves are just a victim of this massive bear market that we've had. Not blaming you, I just wondering if that ever weighs on you. No, because again, the projects, the companies themselves are doing exceedingly well. At the end of the day, and I've seen this like with friends too. Like, hey, I don't think it's going to do anything. They sell, and then, well, or even like with shares of the company, and then, you can cash out, you do whatever, and you can get what money you can, but you're going to miss that upside because a lot of people can't, they can't hold, which is fine. And some people trade, some people do swing trading, and that's what it is. But at the end of the day, I'm not the one pulling the trigger for y'all. You guys are doing that yourselves. And if you sell too early or you buy into projects that are not worth it, again, that is not my fault. If you buy at a certain point, sell and lock in that loss, and then go up, and then it goes up from there, not my fault. So yeah, I'm doesn't weigh on me for anything. What does weigh on me a little bit is some of the people that would and again, you're not framing it like this, you're just asking a genuine question. But there are others that just be like, yeah, all the projects Randy's talking about are like scams or whatever, because yeah, see, you buy in here, it does nothing but go down, which is most of the market. And those people are just lying. And it's like, okay, well, clearly they're not scams. Like clearly they're legit businesses with revenues and all that. It's just the tokens just got punished. So that's the only thing that really weighs on me, is that there are people out there that are lying and people listen to the liars. And it's like, again, not my fault. People have to discern which information is good and which is bad, and that's on them. Anyway, Booth saying, Booth X Zombie this Friday late night. Oh, are you guys doing a stream together? Yo, get that bread. Also, I have VeVe Comics on stream Wednesday. Master Roni on stream. Oh, damn, you getting that bread. Good for you, Booth. Good for you. Dr. Fitter says, happy Monday. Happy Monday. Meow, meow, meow. And I always say not financial advice, but still gets promoted a lot. Everything about the impact on people who bought in because of it. No, again, they're adults, presumably. I'm sure there's some kids that watch me that are under 18, but most everyone, which again, I don't tell people what to do. I tell people like, hey, here's what I'm doing. Here's why I'm doing it. Here's why I think this has ROI. Here's why I think this is disruptive, et cetera, et cetera. But again, that's people's decision to pull the trigger or not. Chumbo Fett says, hello, Mr. Chumbo Fett. Most followers don't invest in the company. They invest in the coins because of you. Respect the grind, though. I like your content. Market's rough right now. Hopefully, OMI, DEVVE, Definity, Moon soon, of course. And any day they would like to is fine. If they want to stay down here for another 6 months, especially OMI, that would also be fine. But again, it looks like it wants to break out. Like it looks like OMI wants to go to those places beyond where we are now. Or we could have another dump in Bitcoin and ETH, and then it takes OMI down with it, and we can fill our bags one last time. Or or it goes up before anything, I don't know. ETH has been down 94%, 1722, XRP down 97%, gold down 90%. Was ETH down? Oh, from 27. Okay. Yeah, like I assume at some points those were down there. Well, it's almost broke because it's down 99. Yeah, I think just because that's what people say just to cope, be like, oh, I didn't make a bad decision. I was led to believe it was good. Meanwhile, I got fooled. I don't know. I think it's people just not taking responsibility or not viewing reality. It's like, hey, this is what happens in crypto. Well, at least they get closer to their real value. They're seriously undervalued in my opinion. Keep it going. But yeah. Like I haven't, what's the, all right, Fiat's actually up 3.5% today. Still $1.3 million market cap, so really low. Definity is at 92% of 1 cent. 0092 it's $1.4 million market cap. Haven't had this in a while. I do want to get a bunch more. I have to wait for this freaking deal to go through though. When I do, I'll have a little bit of liquid capital, and then once that happens, I'll be able to get some Definity, some and we're in mid to late April. I would say by mid-May I'll have a little bit of funds, and I'll I mean this deal could go through any day now, but we'll see. Planet Vampire says the symbol bump now points to upcoming meme coin on coin. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know what happened to the liquidity pools for bump. I don't know what happened to wherever. And again, it was either late 2024, early 2025. I offered to help them out. They're like, hey, give me shares, give me tokens. Like I will, whatever you need. And they said no. So again, oh, they're fine. Amelia says, good evening, peeps. Meow, meow, meow. Those people are ignorant. Have you seen Michael Jackson in South Park? I vaguely remember that episode. No, don't listen to them. They're ignorant. That episode came out so long ago, and it turns out that Michael's actually like protecting a lot of kids from like Epstein Island and all that. Wild times. Anyway, let's keep it going. Let's do. Oh yeah, let's do some VeeFriends before. Actually, another thing I want to talk about before. Well, this goes into VeeFriends and this goes into other stuff. Let's go to Foster Hill, who had posted a day and a half ago. At the beginning of the year, my wife told me I needed to make more friends or join a club. I'm not sure buying 2 Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs is what she had in mind. No turning back now. May as well introduce myself. Obviously, you have a bunch of VeVe fam saying like, "Oh, that's awesome, congrats!" Because once NFTs really do rebound, these were worth houses. Like these were worth $500,000. These are worth like a bunch. Some of them, like some were even worth more than that. So Foster getting them for, I imagine he said in January, maybe 4 or 5 ETH, and now I think they're like 7, 8. Let's see what we got here. Yacht Club, 7.5 ETH. So yeah, one, I think he's done well on them so far, and when NFTs really start going back, they're gonna go huge, in my opinion. They might not. I think they will, because Adam Weissman's got a few of these, and yeah, he'll bring a lot of attention to it. But he goes on today, says the last 24 hours have been insane. I know apes follow apes was a thing. I just didn't realize so many of you would show up. So many people have followed me that X won't even let me follow you all back right now. Bored Ape Yacht Club hits different. And after we talked about them, his post, I think, got 20,000 impressions. He got an additional 940 followers. Replies were up, impressions were up, likes were up, engagement, reposts, engagements, bookmarks, profile visits, shares. They're all just up. And he's even had, let's go to his replies on here. There's some people that are just absolute trolling. I'm not gonna give them any attention. 2 on Mint, 19. Oh, give me one sec. EJ Adams says, what about VeVe partner statue? Foster Hill says, I have 4. Oh, me and Foster Hill both have 4. Bill Z, Nosy saying, dang, bro, what'd you pay for him? Says, wife and I got 2 on Mint, and I bought her the 1992, which is her birth year, for like 6.5K, I think. Other one was quite a bit more expensive. I don't want to remember how much I spent on that one. It was probably a lot. A guy named Von Doom, who's got 193,000 followers over on X. He's a co-founder of CMND Line, Command Line, and GMIGG. None of those really have a huge following, but he is building Keywire.io, also not a huge following, but he is an advisor of Proto Ventures, also not a huge following, and VivaBo. That has 18,000 followers. It's not bad. But he is really, really big in the ape space. And Von Doom says, love VeVe official. Actually, a guy named Hondu Crypto says, now let's buy some VeVe official. And Von Doom says, love VeVe official. We did a chunk of work with them for VeVe Homes a few years back. Foster Hill says, too cool. Not sure if you've had the chance to keep up or not, but I think you're really going to like their phase 2 migration to collect chain this summer. It will enable self-custody for the collectibles and make the world's top brands and IP on VeVe true Web3 assets. We also have a ton cooking for the token that I know anyone currently involved or thinking of joining will be super happy about. Happy to chat or answer questions if you have any. Yeah, that's a big one. So Foster going in, I don't know if he meant to do this, but talking about self-custody this summer. Now that could mean June 21st, or it could mean September 20th, like anywhere in between. I'm going to say September. I'll give him an extra month. So say October, right? By New York Comic Con. Oh gosh, there's more people here. Reckless saying, what up, Millie? Who was saying he's protecting them from FCI, but no. I don't believe that. I believe that he was pure, because I think he was abused when he was younger. Who says, okay, I'm gonna chill. Save his announcement coming up. I assume we have a couple of announcements coming up. I mean, Star Wars month, right? So I assume after Sokka. So I would say at the end of April, the last week in April, we'll have a announcement on what's expected in May. Now, what is expected in May? I mean, they do Han Solo, they could do Leia, they could do Yoda. Should be great. I mean, we have the lightsabers for Ahsoka Tano and Mace Windu and Kylo Ren. They don't have those characters yet, but yeah, Yoda would be great. I mean, the Mando, I mean, we do have Boba Fett. I guess we have Mando as well. I don't know how many people are like pumped about Mando, even though he's really dope. Most people are really pumped about Grogu though, like a lot. And then yeah, Yoda would be great. We have other Star Wars peeps, and those are great. But yeah, really want that. Really want that Yoda. As far as ships, we could get a Naboo cruiser. We have a couple of pod racers, but I would really want the Naboo cruiser. Definitely Slave One. Definitely the Millennium Falcon. Those things would do really well. And then Chewie, obviously Chewie, want him. Get Lord Sidious. You can get Maul would be great. Maul and his lightsaber would be dope AF. But again, that's that. Like, we already know we have Star Wars, right? But what are the other? I mean, licenses. Fairly Odd Parents, Hey Arnold, like anything in Paramount, anything in Nickelodeon. Like, I think they would just stick with the nostalgic like stuff from the 90s. SpongeBob, I think, was either 99 or 2000. I don't think they would do like iCarly or Drake and Josh yet, even though that would be really fun. Same thing with like Victorious, like Zoe 101. Like, we had like some really good TV like in like the mid 2000s. It was really good. Theme song for Drake and Josh, theme song for iCarly, Victoria, Zoe 101, like that, like bangers, right? But I would say more licensed announcements from Nickelodeon, maybe more announcements from other things, but I would say Nickelodeon would be the big one. Pink Colada says, you think Trump ruined the world economy and crypto? I think he definitely extended the, well, no, in an ideal world, you would have no dictator leaders that are, killing their people, that are crazy and could nuke someone at any time when they got access to it. But I think like the tariff war, that he even had Raul Paul say like, yeah, banana zone, end of 2025, it's time. Tariff war just destroyed that. Like crypto was what, like 109? It was like all-time highs. As soon as Trump takes office, crypto goes down to like an insane low. And then starts pumping up again. Pump it up. And then October, we're at 126. Everything's great. The craziest liquidation event in history. Like, and again, how much of this is directly because of Trump? I wouldn't say so much his actions as much as he has a lot of enemies, many of which in Washington, and some like Jerome Powell. Like you had what's his name, Gary Gensler, like for the longest time, like people hated him. Like he was the worst person for crypto and NFTs and all that. Trump reins him in, and he's doing good things for crypto policy wise, but the actions in the macro and all of those actions and the people that hate him, like Jerome Powell, that purposely don't lower rates because of his distaste for Trump. Like, if it was a Democrat in office, the rates would be the lowest that they've ever been. Whether you love either side or hate either side, whatever, that's, yeah. But at some point, we will have that crazy bull market. Do you think we would have seen OMI hit Ascent by now? No, I mean, again, you would have had to hit, if a president was in that the Fed chair liked, yeah, we would have had a crazy bull market by now. So everything is still going to happen. It's just been delayed, I'm going to say, by a year, instead of Raul Paul saying like, yeah, banana zone, end of 2025. Now maybe we get it end of 2026 or even middle, because again, Trump would like, I would assume, pump the markets before midterms. It doesn't want to be a, lame duck. It doesn't want to have no power, like, because right now it's looking like Democrats would sweep Senate and the House, and Trump wouldn't really be able to get much done. So in order to prevent that, Trump would want to pump the markets. Probably, I'd say I'd say July, August at the latest, because you want it pumping August, September, October, so people have at least a decent quarter of like, yeah, we pumped a little bit before the midterms. But, hopefully like June, maybe next month we start with a new Fed chair. Kamala Harris would have been disastrous for the border. It would have been disastrous for immigration, like the people. But yeah, the markets might have pumped. It'd be not necessarily probably just her in general. Like it probably would have been not bad for markets. Yeah, that's just my opinion there. She talking about bot. Anyway, getting back to Foster and his stuff here before Greg comes on. Foster be talking like you have the Okomi community manager getting a big warm welcome from the Bored Ape Yacht Club peeps. And those people have money. Not all of them, of course, but there's a good amount of them, mega whales. And he deserves a bonus for this because now they're getting exposed to. Now he's not going in there and be like, hey, Bored Ape guys, I'm one of you. Come by VeVe and OMI. Come, like, nobody likes it when you do that. Like, I joined the VeeFriends crew recently, not as a worker or anything. Just I bought a couple of VeeFriends Series 2s, and I'm in the Discord and I talk with one of the main guys there, Brent Trades, every Thursday, and we have a show together and we talk about awesome stuff, like just the love for NFTs in general. But I never go in the Discord and be like, hey guys, check out what VeVe's doing right now. Like I haven't mentioned that at all. I only talk about VeeFriends in that Discord. And as I make friends and as there's some cross-pollination between followers between me and Brent Trades, I will buy more VeeFriends. I bought 3 in the last month and I'm gonna buy more. I do want a VeeFriends Series 1, but they're like 1.5 ETH. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I might get more Series 2s, or I might sell some Series 2s and get a Series 1. Or I might just, like if stuff goes up, I'll just YOLO it and just buy a Series 1 just in general. But we'll see. Yeah, Foster going in and being welcome like that, that's a very good thing. And for VeeFriends, like the speculation, like I am very curious. What did he say here? Let me bring that back up, that comment. Pink Cloud talking about OMI DEVVE DEFINITY. A lot of people that are in my circle that have a bunch of OMI, DEVVE, or DEFINITY, when those pump and they have a bunch of extra money, I mean, I would hope they would go in and just buy my comic and physical and digital and any high-end stuff that we do with VeVe or Figpin, etc. But aside from that, hey, what else are you doing, Chavez? Well, looking at Moonbirds, looking at Lil Pudgies, I got a bunch of VeeFriends already. Anything I talk about, people are probably going to buy. And yeah, so at some point I'll have to be kind of careful with what I say. Like, well, I'm looking at this, like, guys, I was just looking at it. Like, I'm not, not promoting it or anything, but yeah, so again, the cross-pollination is good. And I think a bunch of people here will probably go into VeeFriends and get because now, okay, Randy, what do you think of VeeFriends? Well, don't buy the Secure Sparrow or like the Gleeful Glowworm, whatever it's called, because clearly nobody likes those ones. I have a Secured Sparrow, so I feel like I'm talking about the Cryptkins, but the good ones, I think the Fearless Fairy is really good. I really want her. I want another Cynical Cat. I have a Gift Goat. I want another Gift Goat. Like those, there's different tiers of characters. Same on VeVe. Okay, VeVe, what should I get? Well, big difference between a partner statue and a Cryptkin. Big difference between a Gift Goat and a Adventurous Astronaut and a Secure Sparrow. Big difference there. Where are we at here? Oh gosh, there's a lot of comments. David better announce new features about Collect Chain. We got enough drops. I'm grateful, but save the drops for May the 4th be with you. We always want VeVe to do well, and it would have. Oh god, this would have been so great if we were to go on NASDAQ, because again, the growth month over month has been doubled I'm not expecting them to do that again in May. Like, I don't think we'll get a $1 million month in May. That would be great. And it is possible. New users coming back, fire drops. It is possible. I think people would do it. And what I also think people would do, like, I mentioned this, I think, yesterday. If you have, like, Lady Dimitrescu, if there was 100 of her for $400, people, I would buy that. A one of 100 ladies from Resident Evil, a waifu, me, Kaki Gaja, like, we would buy, like, whales would buy that, and it's 40 grand, and they could do that every day for any of those characters. It's super limited, super collectible, and yeah, people would buy that. And you do that 30 days, $1.2 million. Like, they could do something like, now they don't need to do that, because it's like, okay, $400 is a lot. How many times can you ask people to do that? Do more runs, but, you know, $20. Yeah, I get that. We're gonna have a lot more users. Greg said he'll be here in a few minutes. Very good. We'll have a lot more users, but we have to keep them engaged. Like, the fire drops need to continue happening. And yeah, collect chain, again, we'll have interoperability. We don't know when. All these drops are in people's pockets. All these drops hurt people's pockets, dog. Randy Jackson, but yeah. I know Randy Jackson from American Idol, but, like, he had to do something with music beforehand, right? I don't know what, I'm not that old. I don't know what he did beforehand. VeVe Gold says, hi, Randy. What's up, VeVe Gold? Warrior out there on Facebook, going in, getting posts approved, spreading the word of VeVe. Love it. VeVe Gold is dope. Yeah, freaking love him. By the VeVe says, hey-oh, what up? Yoda would be dope, dog. I have the green light. Yeah, we all want him. Gold says, hi, Booth. What's up, dog? Meow, meow, meow. My little sister bought some spatial effect remote control from iCarly. Maybe we could get that. Oh, the one that has, like, the sound bar? Like, the one that does all the sound effects for the show? That would be dope. Yeah, that'd be really dope. Bought it from, it's in Walmart? Never buy anything. Oh, you don't like Gary V? Why don't you like Gary V? I love him. Hey, Beyond Comics, he's coming on to talk about his new 1 of 1. What's up, man? Putting the energy out there for Darth Maul next month. Bro, he's like my favorite. So I don't have a picture of this, but I did back in the day. My first cosplay was Darth Maul, and it looked dope. I was like 15. I was in high school, I think, and yeah, I had one. I think it was Star Wars Episode 2. I was working at East Village Green Animal Hospital at the time, and I go in to show them before I went to the theater. Like, I went to the theater, like, super early, because this is like 20 years ago. Super nerd Chavez. Me and my boys. There's one friend. We went to GameStop first. I thought they would, like, have something. They didn't have anything. We go to Wendy's, eat a bunch of burgers, and then we get there, wait outside, and everyone is, like, in cosplay. We have our lightsabers. We have, like, lightsaber battle. It's pretty epic. It was pretty dope. $100, 500 mint, Millennium Falcon, quick 50K there. Common, Secret Rare, Ultra Rare for Yoda and Darth Maul would be legit. Yeah, Millennium Falcon. Oh god, that'd be so cool. Meow meow meow. 63 SW says mint numbers matter. So yeah, I go on X before and say mint numbers seem to matter more on VeVe Official than in any other NFT platform. Someone just paid $2,900 or 19.5 million OMI for mint number 1928 Minnie Mouse, the year she was introduced. That is 584 times the floor. NFTs are heating up everywhere, but especially on VeVe. And then you have 63SW with his mint 1901. Freaking love that dude. And or I don't even think that was him, but mint number 1000 Spider-Man, I think that was him as well. Sold for about 12K. I'm gonna give him some hearts, give him some love. We love him. He's great. What is the best case scenario for Foster linking up with his peers in the space? Best case scenario, VeVe starts pumping. he like gets a third ape, or he gets, all right, so best case scenario is he does something with the apes, right? And he says like, hey, what can we do now? The apes, it's going to be hard to get them on VeVe because each person that owns an ape, like they have the rights to that ape. So maybe it wouldn't be something like, yeah, we can do a drop of yours and you get like a discount. Maybe it's something, because again, he's the Akomi community manager. So if I were him, I would say like, okay, I would push for David and Dan to approve a staking tier where like, yeah, it's meant for OMI, but if you also have like, okay, if you have 10 million OMI, 100 million, like what, however much OMI that you can get for these staking tiers that Foster alluded to last week on the OMI Homie channel. If he can go in and get them to say like, if you get an extra 1% or an extra, bonus if you have high-end collectibles on VeVe. This is how I would go. If you have, let's say, a gold logo, a partner statue, a Todd, a Riso, a super, like any like blue chip stuff on VeVe, you get like extra points, whether it's MCP or whatever. But that can also extend to high-end NFTs and other projects. It would probably be punks, probably be bored apes, and I don't know, pudgy penguins would be dope. But if you have like, because you don't need the permission for that. Like you don't need to go to Bored Apes or Pudgy Penguins or VeeFriends and be like, yeah, can we like do it? No, if you have something from them, or if they have something in their wallet that it shows like a VeeFriends or it shows a Bored Ape or it shows that, and be like, oh yeah, you have this in your wallet, you get a bonus, and you keep getting that bonus every month or whatever, like then they're incentivized to come on to VeVe's. Like, yeah, I'll go and stake because now not only are they going to buy OMI and stuff for that staking, but they're also going to be incentivized. Like, hey, look what I get. Special treatment over here on VeVe for Bored Apes. They embrace the fuck out of us. And then suddenly they get, oh, can Pudgy Penguins come in? Can Moonbirds come in? Can Milady Makers come in? Can all of these, can Chimpers, Claynosaurs, all of these other wallets connect? And that's how you could get a bunch of stuff on VeVe. Now, I am just spitting out nonsense here. I think it's a really good idea, just off the top of my head. But that would be, in my opinion, the best route for the most bullish route for all involved. That win-win-win scenario. It's a win for David and Dan. They get a lot of users on VeVe. It's a win for those people because they get a lot of. We roll out the red carpet for them, and it's a win for us if they go in and buy collectibles or they buy OMI, because then our bags go boom. Bought it from Walmart in like 2011, dog. Sam's like, gotcha. Smells like a dog in here. Oh, what's up, dog? Special edition Jar Jar would break the app. My favorite Jar Jar memory is like 2015, maybe 2016. 2015, probably. I'm living with my friend Brian, and dude, this was such a fun house because it's him, his wife, we'll call her wife, his wife Abby, and we're all living like together, and he's got 2 dogs, and they're amazing. And Abby is Filipino, and she cooks like a Filipino. Like, we had food all the time, and it was great. And but he was in a band, so his friends Zach and James, and I knew them too. Like we all worked together, so it was like military stuff. The band was like his side project. They'd be playing actual like stuff, and then after they were done, we'd mess around with like Rock Band and Guitar Hero, and Abby would always make us food. Like that was such a fun house. One day, me and Brian were just chilling and playing Lego Star Wars, and in the Lego Star Wars, I just Jar Jar Binks just knowing the fudge out of me. So I just kill him. And he comes back. So I kill him again. And I get an achievement. Kill Jar Jar Binks 20 times. I was like, what? You get an achievement for killing Jar Jar Binks? Greatest achievement that you could ever get on an Xbox. Kill Jar Jar Binks 20 times. Achievement unlocked. Omar Lozone says, good evening. Meow, meow, meow. Jason Pena says, will you be able to theoretically store your Bored Ape on the collect chain? Could be a source for extra points. Any project can come in and do stuff on collect chain. I don't know how many people can build on it right now. I don't think anyone, because if there was anyone building on collect chain, it would probably be like we would probably know about it. I don't think they're doing that right now. I don't know if they're ready for that. But yeah, I think eventually you'll be able to store your board like if you wanted to. I suppose would use MT say, Darth Vader. Yeah, like I would agree to that too. But again, this is just ideas off the top of my head. I don't know what type of approvals they would need for stuff like that. What you're saying makes sense. Other side metaverse has ODK. Non-board apes NFT can be on the other side land. Why can't VeVe do that, dog? Yeah, maybe. Meow, meow, meow. Remember, I think the Great Foster got involved with board apes. Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah, me too. Oftentimes communities become maxis for their own projects. I don't think we need special mechanics. Understanding and support for one another is more important. Yeah, I think it's great too. The more cross-pollination we can get, the best. Wes is saying something that he has zero proof of, so I'm going to ignore that. Cardinal Gold Slayers, I would go hard for scantily clad. Oh God, Slave Leia. Yeah. I go hard for Slave Leia too. 100 gems, 200 gems, 250 gems. There you go, VeVe. Change the name to something like in prison. Make the collectible happen, please, for the love of David and Dan. Well, all right, so here's why I think we could get Slave Leia and we could get Slave One. Boba Fett shit is because, like, let's face it, Disney went woke for a while. Go woke, go broke, and they got rid of Slave One. People were not happy. They didn't call her Slave Leia anymore. Like, people didn't happy. But now, like Disney also got rid of the saying, like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. They literally got rid of that saying in the woke era. But now that the world is healing, Disney is now once again saying, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Because that makes sense. And I think now the pendulum might swing the other way. Yeah, it's called Slave One. There's a slave trade in the galaxy. Anakin was a slave. So was his mom. It makes sense that a ship would be called Slave One. And yeah, Slave Leia. Yeah, I think they would embrace that now. Boo says, I had a post on X that Clip Doctor collects audio saying collect chain bringing ledger tech. So the NFTs to MetaMask. He literally said to MetaMask. Yes, that will happen. When? I don't know. I would hope by August, but let's say October. My ideas are making sense. I agree. Heck, Slave Leia could be the special edition in a common special edition rare ultra versions of Leia, and it would sell out instantly because yes, I agree 100%. Freaking SE, you're going crazy on V. Maserati has a wait. What? What? That's insane. That is bananas. Bananas in pajamas. Meow, meow. South Korea stock market index KOSPI has hit a new all-time high of 6,331. It is now up 25% in the last 15 days. Hella bullish for crypto. Let's get this bread. I love this game. Eric Weiss said he would come on any minute, but I don't know if that was true. We shall still continue waiting. We are at 14,000,1491. So we've been up there at 1.5 a couple of times today, getting rejected. That one big sell get us down to 1.420. We haven't been this low since. What can we do? We shall see. Let me take a look on VeeFriends Series 2. I haven't checked that in a minute. Very, very low volume, only like 9 of them. To explore. No new ones on the best deal items, which is fine. This dope dog. I think with Snap Future, they'll do something with the pod races. Oh, that would be so cool. And the pod race in Boon to Eve is. I didn't like that scene when I was younger. It's kind of cool though, because you see the Tusken Raiders too. You see that dope. I want Darth Vader shuttle for my first appearance. Vader. See if it does what it does. Dog. Oh, all right. We got Greg coming on in less than a minute. Snap a small Anakin. Baby. Yas, reckless. Yas. Or if we get Yoda, the green lightsaber, yeah, that'd be dope too. All right, let me go to X and I will say, where am I? Yeah, I'll requote this. Like, let's welcome. So if you go in and type in Greg White, he's at Beyond Comics over on X to talk. I can only edit his name. It says I can't add him. I can only kick him or ban him from the studio. That's weird. Greg, be advised. It says I can only edit your name, kick from studio, or ban from studio. Not 100% sure why. Give you a minute to figure that out. Oh, wait. In 3, 2, 1. My man, how you doing?
Hey, it worked finally. Okay, some changes, I guess, with the app update or whatever.
Oh, okay.
How are you? Sorry for the delay there.
Oh, it's all good. I'm just re-quoting this on X to say like, hey, let's welcome Beyond Comics to talk about his new 1 of 1 on VeVe Official.
Great, great, great.
Because that is that actually came out today, so I'll show it to people right now. Be advised, everyone, this 1 of 1 that I'm showing you on the app can only be bid on app.vv.me, the website. If you take a look at it, it is Cleo. Also, when you tagged Coco in like your X post, like either this morning or yesterday, it goes to a random Coco. It doesn't go to her.
Oh, thank you for telling me. I'll have to fix that. I think it's Coco's World on X and it's Coco on Instagram. That's probably. Thank you for telling me.
Okay, so this is from this artist proof, because you've had a couple on here, and this artist proof is from which comic and which panel? Which?
This is. I will show you right now. Hold on.
Kakito #1.
Yes, yes, and in our comic book Kakito #1. And hello, VeVe community. Greg White, BeyondComics.tv. Woo! Hey. And by the way, how funny that it's dropping on 420 for those in the know.
Down below.
What a coincidence. But yes, there is the artwork in the comic book.
Hell yeah.
And then that was turned into a VeVe exclusive limited edition cover. One of the special editions, I think it was the Ultra, not the secret rare, but the Ultra, so that those who collected the comic book for Kakito on VeVe was able to get that Coco cover, which was nice. It was the 3rd cover, I believe.
Cool.
Yeah. And for those of you guys who are new and don't know what VeVe is, go to VeVe.me, VeVe.me, and then search Beyond Comics.
You can below.
Yes. Search the comic book Kakito or Beyond Comics, and you could download the unlimited edition to read the story, co-created by writer Brandon Wilson. There you go, Kakito.
Hell yeah! All right, so in this, so we have a very, very voluptuous.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, the art. I'm sorry. I thought you were referring to my voluptuous shape.
So we talked a little bit about her powers last time on what she can do, but I don't know if we ever talked about dimension. How tall is she? How much does he weigh? How much does she weigh? What is?
Oh, this is a great. So you want Ice-T, Coco's wife, to come after me? Is that what you're saying, to announce her body weight and then have him chase me down?
I hadn't thought of that. I apologize. I was more focused on Cleo, the character, not necessarily Coco.
I see. Okay, Ice, if you're watching, all respect, sir.
I'm sorry. I love you, Ice-T.
Yes. So that it's funny that you say that. You know, actually, it was to be honest with you, it was very funny because my friend, when I officially when Coco called me and I officially was like, oh my God, it's really her on the phone. And I was like, yes, I want to cast you as our character, Cleo, in our new comic book, Kakito. You know, she came over to pose, and I was drawing her, which they showed on Ice Loves Coco on Entertainment Television, of a TV show, and my art studio and stuff like that. And I remember a couple of guy friends of mine were like, yo, bro, you're going to try to hit on Coco? What's up, dude? Like, they're talking to me like this, right? And then all I could think of is that photo of Coco laying in bed with Ice-T, both of them nude. And he has, like, I think either a knife or a machine gun or something in the bed. That's all I could picture. I'm like, no, I will never cross the line of respect, please. You know?
So speaking of Kakito, is this? Can you tell us a little bit about the airdrop you guys had?
Oh, yes. So with the airdrop, it's pretty exciting to it. And by the way, I just wanted to before we move on, just to show because Ice was actually very, very, very nice. I'm trying to see if which picture here is this showing up here?
Yes.
So he was very cool guy from Law and Order. But yeah, so the airdrop. Are you talking about the one today, or you mean when we did the comic?
When you did the comic.
Oh yeah, so that was very exciting because one of the things that if everybody, you know, collected, I see it on the secondary market. I think it was like $400 it was going for. We were only charging, I think it was like $8.99 for the exclusive limited edition secret rare collectible series of 5 different covers. But if everybody collected all 5 different covers of Gekido, our comic book, then we would airdrop them the 6th bonus secret rare cover, which was really exciting. So right now we're raising funding, you know, and then we could hopefully produce more comic books and do more one-of-ones and secret rares. And really, I mean, we have all the stories written and everything. It's very exciting. So, you know, I hope that we could literally, you know, get some funding together. If those, you know, anybody wants to invest, please reach out to me on social media or whatever. And that'd be really great because it's thankfully profitable, and that's a good sign for the comic book, you know, community. And thanks to the VeVe community, honestly, for being so supportive, you know, because it's one of those things where I think it's very different, like the VeVe space community, especially when I met a lot of the fans, and I've said this before in person in New York. What a great supportive crew, like a support system. I love that. And that's what, you know, they're not interested in tearing down and mocking or ripping up. They're trying to support and give a platform for creatives, writers, artists, you know, to actually make exclusive goods for them. You know what I mean? And that's a beautiful kind of connection. So as a comic book artist and writer and creator, and, you know, it's a wonderful community to be able to create art and know that it's not just, you know, staying in my art studio, but like people can enjoy the story, read the book, collect the art, and then trade it like an asset and really make profits off of it too, which is incredible, you know? So that's a great feeling, I think. So hopefully we'll be able to raise a little more funding and produce more work for everybody, which would be really fun, and even collectibles too, which would be something I'd love to try to get into as well. Digital collectibles and digitals and things like that, physical digitals. Oh, and to answer your question, by the way, before about Coco, because that is a good question. So so the character Cleo in the comic book, which we cast Coco as, and you can see her over here lunging at Gekido. So in the comic book, like in real life, Coco is, you know, I think she's around 5'2" or 3", something like that, 5'2" or 3. You know, and then I don't know her weight. I wouldn't ask. I'm too scared. but in the comic book, I kind of, you know, she has the power, remember, to shapeshift into any female she likes. So the character Cleo, who Coco is cast as, has the ability to transform her weight, her size, her height, you know, into anything she wants. So that's why nobody knows what she really looks like. But we know she's biologically female. We just don't know what she actually is.
She's like a boggart from Harry Potter, like, because they turn into what you fear the most, but so nobody knows what they actually look like. Oh,
right. We don't know what her real species is, or what she is. Is she human? Is she not? You know, and because she has the ability to transform into any female that she so chooses, we don't know.
Oh,
I don't know what that was.
Oh, that was one of those alien things from Men in Black.
Have you seen, by the way, on social media, this is so terrible, and please, I apologize, but there are these guys on social media that will find videos of people who kind of look incredibly unusual, or whatever they're doing to make themselves look kind of extraordinary or out of the ordinary, and they show their video, and then it cuts to them with the Men in Black music as they're getting ready to go after the aliens. You know what I mean?
That's so horrible. That's great.
It's terrible, but it's so funny.
VeVe Vet is saying like that drop already happened, because he said he collected them all on the day of the drop, but I guess he never got an airdrop. I guess VeVe Vet put in a ticket for that.
Really? Oh, definitely contact VeVe immediately, because they airdrop the 6th cover. If you have all five of the secret rares, I'm sorry, all 5 of the different variant covers, then yes, they should drop you a 6th secret rare. Absolutely reach out to them.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so we have this. So this is your 3rd that is going on here in like the last few months.
Yes, yeah, my third artist works drop, and for those of you who are new to it and haven't heard of that, that's like where we take the original artwork on our Beyond Comics, is my company, beyondcomics.tv. We take the original Bristol board paper that I drew on, if I digitally colored it, however we did it, and then we take that original art, and then we will translate it and transform it into a 3D digital collectible, one of one. That's the only one in the world in that specific style, from the original art, from the actual Bristol board paper and everything that we did, that we scanned in high res. So you have a digital version that you could like literally rotate, and turn around, and it's something that thankfully seems to be of big value, and people do trade that from time to time, or can trade that on the secondary market and make a profit. Some of them go for thousands of dollars USD. So we start our bid low at like $999 or gems. And for those of you who are new to it, you could literally just convert your currency into gems and then make a bid. But it's blind bidding, so you can't see who's bidding or how much is bidding. So it will stay at $999, and you won't know until the last day, which is the 24th of this month of April, who the winning bid is. So whoever just bid your maximum amount, and whoever bids the most is the winner, but you don't know. So you have no idea if you're missing out by $1, by $1,000, by $100, nobody knows. So it makes it very exciting because nobody can see it. Unlike, for example, on eBay, you see the incremental bids go up. But here you don't. So you have no idea who's bid what. So just bid your max and hope you get it. And if you do get it, that is a one of one, extremely rare, true collectible. It's a true digital collectible. It's really something.
It actually doesn't even show up as a collectible if you go to your collection, because you have an area for your collectibles, an area for comics. It shows up as an artwork because it's an artist proof one of one. So it's very, very I've bid on the last two of yours, and I haven't gotten any yet.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Please bid again. I would love to have you win one.
Maybe this time. So you've done this 3. I don't know if you can talk about so back in the day, we're going way back here, we were kind of able to tell when characters in the MCU would die based on how many movies that they were contracted for. Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, we saw that Bucky, Sebastian Stan that plays Bucky, was contracted for like 9 movies. And it's like, okay, he's not going anywhere for a while. But for can you talk about, not the exact details, but for the contracts, like how many of these one of ones do you get to do? Is it contingent on how well they do? Is it we contracted for 5? See how those go?
That's a great question. Before I get there, I wanted to say I met Sebastian Stan before he was officially released as Bucky in the Avengers movies, and it was crazy. I was on the Upper East Side in New York City, and I just see him, who I didn't know, he wasn't famous yet. I see him sitting with a group of friends chatting about, so they cast me in this new Captain America movie as I'm walking by. And I'm like, wait, what? And I turn back and I'm like, bro, are you going to be in that upcoming Captain America First Avenger? He's like, yeah, they cast me as Bucky and they blow my arm off and it becomes like a robotic arm. He just spilled everything, like on the spot, like no holds barred. He was so cool. He gave me his phone number. We chatted. Like, he was awesome. He was super dope. And then once the movie came out and he blew up, oh my God, it was like crazy because nobody knew it was going to be this huge. I was hoping it would be. I'm a huge fan of that stuff. But wow, it was so funny to meet him before he got, so huge. And just to hear everything, like all the spoilers. I didn't tell anybody except like my closest friends. I wanted to be respectful. But yeah. So with these artist proof, and by the way, just here's the Coco as Cleo, Coco Austin as Cleo. So you see her photo, the drawing I did of her. Yes, hand drawn. It's not AR. It's actual hand drawn art. And the action figure by TB League Fison. So what I did was we worked out something top secret, but it is a real one of one collection, Beyond Comics collection. So as we drop these, look out for them. I don't know if I'm allowed to say how many, but it's a good amount. Like, it's a nice collectible collection. So whoever gets it, you know, that's awesome, because it's all, I don't want to reveal too much, but some people who have already won the previous two one-of-ones that we dropped of the artist works, there is a connecting piece to those that will be coming in the future. So hold on to it, you know, because you're going to see how it connects. And it's great to have, you know, to have like these kind of two that you could be, oh my God, that's this version, and that's, oh wow, it connects together. So it'll be exciting. So this has all been planned, you know, over the next couple of years. So it's fun. So every few months, you know, we keep trying to release, and you know, we'll have some more announcements to come soon. I just don't want to get in trouble and say anything too prematurely, so to speak. But yes, it's all been kind of underway for quite some time. So so as you guys bid on your one-of-one, and it's very rare, when we eventually drop another thing, you're gonna see that, oh my God, it's probably gonna make it more valuable, is what we're anticipating, I think, because it's gonna make it rarer and very two distinct kind of separate things that do join together. So it'll be interesting to see what, you know, what happens with that. I hope people really get a kick out of it. You know, I wanted to do something fun for everybody. I just don't want to spoil the surprise, but yes, keep bidding on the one-of-ones, because there's some exciting things to come.
Hell yeah. Can't wait for it. It's I don't know how, because I know you had to deal with a lot of stuff recently. One, you're working a lot, and then you had some family stuff. Yeah, but the NFT market is starting to heat up a lot. Outside of VeVe, you see it in Bored and Mutant Apes, you see it in the Pudgies and Little Pudgies, VeeFriends, Milady Makers, all that. But on VeVe, you can kind of gauge interest by not just if a drop does well or if it sells a lot, but how quickly it does that. So last month we had a Avatar Aang drop, and the Last Airbender, and he sold out, but it took a couple weeks to do it. In the drop last week, we had a Mickey and Friends drop. Now, we've had Mickey and Minnie and Donald and Daisy before, but we've never had Pluto or Goofy. They were secret rares. It took about 4 days, but the drop did sell out. So Aang took a couple weeks, sold out, took about 80 grand to sell out. This drop took like 4 days, and it did it in like like 106K. So was this the collectible, the digital collectible? Yes. And the most recent one we had yesterday is called Solo Leveling. It is one of the best animes in recent history. It was actually the most watched anime in 2025. Wow. And it sold 100K worth. It sold out in about 25 minutes. Wow. So, like, there's a lot of money going in. There's a lot of old people that were around years ago. They went away. They're coming back now. There's a lot of new users. So we're getting a lot of, this is a really good time for NFTs. That's amazing. And did they do it as a one-of-one, or did they have like limited edition versions, or? No, they had, for Solo Leveling, they had 3 different versions that you could get. It was a common, which had 1,918 of them. There's a special edition, which had like 53. And there was a ultra rare, which had like 518 or something. And this was done as an NFT on VeVe? Yes, they were the high-end 3D digital collectibles. And then when they did if you got one, you could mint or you could craft, like, oh, you have one, it has it in your wallet. You get like an extra like frame with like a photo in it, like for free. Wow. So that was really cool. That is very cool. Yeah. And so you buy one, you get one free, which is dope. And it's just, now's a really good time for NFTs, and it probably will be for the next year or so. Wow. People love your energy. Yeah, this is a great time. Yeah, the ultra rare is fire. So I got a bunch of those. Turned out really, really well for me. And the next big one, so we have your one that ends on Friday. We have a couple of comics in the week, so yours will get some good attention because
Oh,
There's
good.
like two comic drops in the week, but that's it. So yours ends on Friday. On Saturday they have Ren and Stimpy. That's
The best.
series. Yeah, series 2. So we've had the first one already that did well, did like 30 grand worth.
Would you like
This
to hear my
one,
Ren and Stimpy imitation?
no, do it again.
Stevenson, you stupid idiot! What are you doing? Ah, okay, man.
Have you done any voice acting?
A little bit from time to time, here and there, trickling through. You know.
That's dope.
I would love to get into it more. I would love to do
Yeah.
voiceovers.
I've always wanted to do that too. Definitely always wanted to. But that's already, we've already had a Ren and Stimpy drop. So this one, it'll do well because it's a lower price point. It's only $20 a pull instead of 25.
Okay.
And it's a little bit easier to get like a secret rare or special edition.
How many are they doing?
They are doing, so the first one had 1,991 commons. This one is gonna have 1,299. So it has like a bunch less commons.
Okay.
Again, it's already lower price point, and then it's easier to get the secret rare, which I think is 199. Special edition is like 29 editions. Like that's super hard to get, but
Wow.
if you get it, it's gonna be worth like a couple $100.
Wow.
But then on Sunday we have Sokka from Avatar, so people kind of want that. But that's a good 3 days in a row. Like you on Friday, then you have Ren and Stimpy. But again, we've already had a Ren and Stimpy, so I don't know how much people are gonna go crazy with it. Like I'll get one or two.
Right.
And then Sunday will be good. And then they're going to announce, I think next week, what they're going to have for May because it's Star Wars month. You know, it's going to be May.
That's interesting. I know, like with our stuff, with Beyond Comics, we're doing like it's the Beyond Comics universe. So I have a whole universe of characters and comic books and new superpowers and new stories and new things that people haven't seen before. So that's one of the reasons why I want to try to raise some more funding and create more collectibles and comics. Like here's just like our first 5 characters. Icy's wife Coco as Cleo. We got right here codename Justice. And then we have Gekito, which is out now. You can download the comic unlimited version on VeVe. Then we have Ravedactyl, Life Beyond Death. And then he fights Tricity, which is coming soon. We originally cast Adrienne Curry as Tricity too, from America's Next Top Model and Stan Lee's super fans. So that was a lot of fun. So there's like a whole community and collectible series of different comic books. That's going to be one category. Category 2 is going to be all of our artist proofs. There's a whole collection of that, so people could really sink their teeth into that. Like I said, there's some surprises kind of coming to connect. So I think if somebody, there's some people that already own the 1 of 1, and I know someone else is trying to buy it off of them, I heard, and and they won't sell it because they know something's coming. So it's all of that kind of stuff that we're trying to plan ahead with, to make it fun for everyone. So then you'll have your comic book collection, you'll have your 1 of 1 artist proof collection, and then I'm working on trying to see how we could get the collectibles, the digital collectibles going. We have a lot of that stuff built in 3D, but there's certain like parameters that have to be matched to fit on the VeVe platform. So it'll be like kind of doing it from scratch, so to speak, but if we do that, hopefully it'll be like, one of each of my characters. So you could line them up and you could like really have a whole collection,
They have this thing called Snap to Location. It started with like a little sushi thing. Like if you get like a diorama and you get these little sushi cars, they're cars, but they're like sushi. And it looks like if you put them on this diorama, it looks like the sushi are on like a conveyor belt and they're going to you. It's cute.
Oh,
but
yeah.
And I thought that's what they did it for, but then they updated the app and you can snap to location R2-D2 under the X-Wing, and then he goes in the X-Wing. I was like, oh,
that's super dope. That's cool.
So like maybe you could somehow use the snap to location, like if like that way they have it in the comic, because if you use the app or even like the VeVeverse, sometimes it's hard to place things. But if you want to like recreate your like cover page over there on like they could use the snap to location and they could do something like that.
How would that work? Because like if we do like a 3D collectible of let's say my character, like let's say we do Gakito, right? And he's in this pose. How would we snap it together?
So it would just come like that.
Okay.
Or maybe, yeah, so it would come however it comes. And if it, instead of just trying to place it one way or the other, like you just, you hit, I've never used it, but I've seen people use it with R2 more than anything now than the sushi. But it has like a place, like it knows, oh, put it here, like you hit it and then it goes automatically to where the dimensions would be on that page. So they're using it, they're going to use it for Avatar Aang, because they're going to have the whole the Avatar Aang gang with Appa and Toph and Zuko and stuff.
Okay.
They're going to do it with Jean Grey and the Phoenix Five.
Wow.
So from Jean Grey, they have the diorama. They already have they have Cyclops out. We're going to get Namor, Magic, and Colossus, and Emma Frost. And then they're going to do it with I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well. And then one more they're going to do it with. I forget with which one. But they're
like
going to do it with
the R2D2 traveling inside the ship. So like they have two separate collectibles. One is the X-Wing, right? And then one is R2D2. And then somehow you could snap it to make it go inside the ship, right?
Yeah, David's got a video here. So you see like R2, and as they so yeah, like the green, it'll highlight, oh, that's where it is. And then suddenly it's snapped immediately in there. Like you have to put him in that bubble. And when you put him in that bubble, then he automatically goes.
That's so cool. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
That's actually really good. So and the ship comes with the scene. Now, can you move the ship in the scene or no?
You probably can be able to, because you could move it wherever you want. Like, okay. I don't think it moves like on its own. Like, for example, like we have a couple of cars that you can like drive, like you can drive around. I think now you can actually do two cars at the same time. I don't know how you control that, but I think this guy Falcon did a video where you're driving like two cars at the same time. So I imagine at some point, what is flying if not just driving, but in the air like that, you'll probably be able to do that.
So it's stuck right now in one position.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so so you're saying with my character, maybe we could have like the character floating with like a background or something like that?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe, because they do, it depends on the, for example, the diorama for Jean Grey is like an extra $30. So there's not too many of those that sold. But the diorama for Raphael for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that's only $10. So there's a lot more people that bought that because it's only $10. And it's a complete set too. Like you get more MCP points for it, like for completing the set.
What is that again, the MCP points?
So it's called Master Collector Program points. And what you do is every collectible you get is 1 point. But then there's like a set bonus. Like if you complete a set, if it's only one in the set, you get an extra point. If it's like 5 in a set, you get like extra X amount of points. It's very similar for comics. So like common comics are a 1/4 point. Uncommons are half a point. Rares, I think, are 1. I think ultra rares are 2, and then the secret rares are 5. And that makes sense because the secret rares are what do you call it? They're harder to get because they're more expensive.
And then what do the points accumulate to?
You can, so for example, if you wanted to get they had Street Fighter recently, M. Bison. There's 257 of him. I was not able to get him like immediately on the draw because there was more people than there were spots available.
Oh,
but if you were to bet MCP points, like let's say like one of my friends bet, I think 13,000 MCP points, you guarantee yourself, like they save half the spots for people that bid those MCP points.
Oh, it's like helping them guarantee getting the piece versus being locked out of it or missing out.
So a lot of people right now are not using the MCP points because they believe, like, so we got solo leveling.
Like skip the line, for example. Like in other words, the points aren't like gems, like where you could buy them, but it's like skip the line to the front.
Yeah, it makes sure you like guarantee yourself a line. So for example, we got solo leveling. We're probably going to get like One Piece and Dragon Ball Z, and like if there's a Goku out there, like super sad, like people are going to spend massive amounts of MCP points to make sure they get one if he's like super limited. And they would do that. Like people think that one day we might get Pokemon, which I think one day we probably will.
That's cool.
They're gonna be like, yo, Mewtwo, you know, like they're gonna spend like 1 million MCP points for like a Charizard or Mewtwo, you know. So yeah, they would. That's incentive for people.
That's cool. So the more points you get, the more you can use to guarantee a spot so you don't miss out, so to speak. But it's not like gems you can't purchase with it.
Correct. You can. What you can do is, if you run out of MCP points, you can you get for staking OMI on the Stacker app, which is where you could buy like your stuff, the Gakito comics for OMI.
The secondary market, right?
Yeah, if you hold 10 million OMI there, you get like more MCP points, and you get these things called bronze tickets, and you can redeem your bronze tickets for more MCP points.
Okay.
They're gonna come out, I think, with new staking tiers. Foster, our community manager, alluded to that the other day.
Okay.
Omar's asking, would you ever bring iced tea or cocoa on the podcast over here?
Oh yeah, sure. But listen, if they're available, I could grab them. Yeah, it's hard to get them.
Yeah.
it's not easy to get them.
If we ever do get like a 3D digital collectible of Cleo, one O'Milly needs that bad. He wants that waifu. But then like just to help promote it, that would go super hard. Like if they came on, then
oh yeah, that'd be like super cool. Like very very. Oh, I saw that Coco liked the post on VeVe official dropping my my one of her as Cleo today. So that was really cool to see her little bubble pop up with the support on Instagram, which was great. And by the way, if you guys want to go check it out, just go to my my X is Beyond Comics here on Twitter. Right, so it's just Beyond Comics. But if you go to my Instagram, it's my name, which is GRAIGWEICH, Greg Weich. GRAIGWEICH on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. But on X here, it's just Beyond Comics. And then also on YouTube, where you could see, I made like a private message that the VeVe officially put on their actual, YouTube page, which was really nice, where I was kind of giving a little private announcement and thank you message to the fans out there. I really appreciate them. So if you guys want to check it out, that just posted a couple of days ago, and that's you can see it also on my channel, Beyond Comics TV on YouTube. It's all one word, Beyond Comics TV.
Oh yeah. So you mentioned you were raising a little bit of funds to be able to keep it going, to do different things. That what
I'm trying to raise a lot of bit of funds
to bring a couple things to life. Some things that the fans want, some things that you want. I have a little announcement here. I am in the middle of doing a cap raise for DACAT.
Yes. Wait, zoom in on that. Oh yes, awesome. That's awesome.
Hell yeah. So I am thinking here, if and you don't have to go like exact stuff or whatever, but is there a you want to do this not necessarily because you have to, but you just want to make more products. You want to go out and expand the universe. You want to, so you don't have to. It's something that you just want to do.
Well, it's more than that. It's honestly, and this is me just talking from my heart. I feel it's my legacy, my destiny, so to speak, to release the Ravedactyl comic book series and the Codename Justice comic book series, as well as the movies. I finished the movie screenplays for that, which took me years to write. I did over 100 drafts, over 120 to 140 pages each, over and over, year after year, until I perfected it. Teamed up with Emmy Award-winning producers and screenplay writers like Chris Silva, who worked on Euro, Netflix, and Disney himself. Really kicked my ass into gear to perfect screenwriting, and I wanted to contribute something. It's not just like another story, like what I've written, and I'm being like dead serious. Like I'm saying I would stake my whole company, everything I've created on these scripts, because I my favorite movie is The Matrix, and also The Dark Knight, with Heath Ledger and stuff. These are like two of my favorite films, The Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars, my favorite films. And I said, I need to make a film that people will say is at least on par with that, which is why it took me years to write these scripts. You know, some people just bang scripts out, they bang them out, or it's another scary, you know, monster movie, or it's another superhero with generic powers. No. My stuff is everything that we loved that hasn't been done yet that I wanted to see, I put in these scripts. And for me, I feel like, honestly, like I'm such a big fan of this stuff myself that I tried to team up with audiences throughout the years, you know, saving lists of people that would sign up on my email list for the last 25 years since I was, you know, got my start drawing for Todd McFarlane and Spawn with the double page spread pinup in issue 30 of Angela fighting Spawn. You know, since that time, since I was a teenager, you know, I've been collecting emails and asking people, what do you want to see? What's missing in comics? What do you want to see in movies? What superpowers? What hasn't been done? And it matched with everything I wanted to. It was the same thing. We love superheroes, all of us. So I said, well, wait a minute. Let's make them. Let's actually produce this stuff and do something that's never been done before. Not like this. It's like putting an original spin on taking everything you loved and turning it upside down. It's kind of the way Jackie Chan said, you know, he wanted to be the next Bruce Lee, but you realize you can't be the next Bruce Lee. So he did everything Bruce Lee did, but in comedy. So that was his twist. That's what made him original and hit. So I've tried to do this not in comedy, but in regards to new superpowers that I have not seen done this way, new storylines that I haven't seen done this way, but still keeps the momentum and the template of the hero's journey, you know, and that kind of power in these superheroes and how they each stand alone separately, and then a big spoiler alert, will all eventually converge into my version of my Avengers, my Beyond Comics universe, where they'll all come together eventually. And I have like hundreds of characters, like not just one. You know, you only see like the first 5 in here, but I have like really well fleshed out characters I've been working on since I'm 14 years old. So I really want to share this with the world and leave behind, you know, the new legacy of superheroes, just the way, you know, we talk about the old superheroes of yesteryear. I want, you know, when I'm hopefully an old man and hopefully in good health, you know, I want, you know, everyone to be talking about our characters. And I feel like we're doing it together. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, I can't create it, put it out, and if nobody gets it, it falls down. So it's a real collaboration between the collectors and the creators coming together as a team to make this happen. You know what I'm saying? That's very important. So I'm very, very grateful and thankful to the community of collectors out there who give a chance and a voice to independence like myself, independent artists and writers like myself. So it's very, it's so important to me. And, you know, I hate that we need to do a raise, that we need funding. But that's the only way you can, you know, pay your bills so that you can actually work on the product. Because, you know, you're working like 17 hours a day on stuff. Like even with your comic with the cat, you know, I mean, you know how long that takes. It's tremendous undertaking. So just to do one comic book like this, and, you know, the VeVe version of this comic book with the different covers, you know, that's over 60 pages, 60 plus pages in there. You know, 22-page story plus behind-the-scenes look and preview of the other characters, like Codename Justice over here and Ravidactyl. They're all previewed in there. But that takes about 17 hours a day, nonstop. You have to pencil it, you have to ink it, you have to color it, you have to do the word balloons, the letters, you have to make sure that it's print ready, you have to, you know, do all these different formatting. It's just nonstop. It's tremendous work. And in order to get that free time, you have to make sure you have income to pay the bills, pay the rent, pay for food, pay for medical, pay for everything you're doing, and then pay, you know, every assistant who's going to help out, you know, every collaborator that, you know, you're hooking up with. So, you know, that's very important to hook up with the right team of workers to work together, you know. And in order to do that, we have to make a raise. We have to do funding.
I'm very careful with who I do the funding with to make sure that, because like everyone wants to give money because they know it's going to be huge, but if it's just some Yahoo VC that you know, is not really going to do anything, or is it from someone where, hey, we could have a cross-pollination of followers. So I haven't done Kickstarter but I've taken a look into it a couple of times. A guy named 247 Comics, they did one, and with Kickstarter is you don't have to give up equity. It's like, hey, here's what I'm doing, here's what I've released so far. You come in, and depending on the level, like, oh, you gave $20, you get a comic. Oh, you gave $50, you get a comic and a special little drawing. You gave $100, you get a signed comic and whatever.
Sure,
Have you taken a look into Kickstarter?
Yeah, I met actually with the owners of Kickstarter and Indiegogo and different people like that, and had big discussions with them in the past. And it's something that I'm very interested in doing. However, I understand the details of what it takes to make that happen, and their algorithm is very specific. So the ones that succeed have to have people ready to pull the trigger the day you launch. And if you don't have that, or you're uncertain about it, or how many people, and you don't hit that goal within 24 to 48 hours, you're at risk of it not being pushed by the algorithm, and then people may not know it exists. And if you don't get funded, it looks as if it wasn't funded. You see what I'm saying? Which looks like it was a fail, but it wasn't. It was just that people didn't know it was out there. And then people start discovering it later, but it's too late. So that's one of the problems with that platform is that I think if you're building your audience, you see what I'm saying? And I know, like, in the comic book community, you have a lot of people who might follow, but do they actually put in the dollars to purchase? And that kind of is usually 1 to 10% of the following actually makes a purchase, you know, depending on the averages of what I've heard from different, you know, collaborators and different creatives and things like that. You know, I've experienced it as well. So I'm apprehensive to do it yet. And then also, if we hit the goal, you make the goal too high, it's going to push people away. If you make it low enough and you hit, I would rather have the work almost completed and then ask for completion funds or finishing funds. Because then I know the product has a much better chance of actually getting into the hands of the collectors, versus sometimes where people put it in and it doesn't come out for years, and then people are disappointed. And I don't want to upset people or disappoint them. So I'm very responsible that way. Like, if I say I'm doing it, I do it, you know, and if you know, I want it to succeed, I want to make sure that we have everything lined up. And you also have to be on it every day. Like, that's your life for 2 months, is just promoting daily on that platform. So you have to kind of really, if you really want it to succeed, you got to do it the right way. You know, unless you have some kind of pre-built audience, you know, that's just mind-boggling that you were able to accumulate. Like, I know, like, there were some other comic collaborators and people that just had like their own kind of platform and their own YouTube channel where they're talking every day, and, you know, and very political and kind of controversial, and they hit like certain major followers on that channel. And the guy was like, hey, I'm going to put out a comic for the first time. I'm writing a comic, he said, and he puts it out, and whammo, it hit, because all of his followers, you know, literally put it out. But he did it on his own platform, copying a very similar appearance to Kickstarter. So that was terrific, you know, that he was able to achieve that. You know, even, and, you know, some people like hate the podcast, some people love the podcast, some people hate his comic, some people love his comic, but either way, respect for doing it, you know, respect for getting it done. And I hope that, you know, people could kind of be more positive in that realm to kind of support each other. You don't have to like everything and tear it down if you don't like it, but let's be respectful to one another and support each other. Like, there's certain comics that I've seen big companies put out, big famous publishing companies. I have no idea how that book was released. Like, some of the art was bad. Like, it's really bad art. Like, wow, that's terrible. But they put it out like it looks like a child drew it. I don't know how they released it. Somehow they did. But then I just won't say anything. I don't want to tear down someone's accomplishment, or so I'll just I'll keep silent about it. That's all. You know, you don't have to hurt somebody. It's like, hey, good for you. You got it out some miracle way. But people get jealous or angry because they're much better writers or artists, and they're being overlooked or not published. And then I think they get resentful. How could you put this out when they do that? I think it's that kind of a mentality, you know. Like, I remember why there was I did a drawing. I won't say because I love the guy's comic and his work. But I did a drawing of a particular very well known comic book creator, and I was looking for work, and I was like, I sent it to the editor, his editor, and he called me up and he says, listen, he's like, how long did you spend on this art? I said, oh, I spent like almost like a half a week, you know, every day penciling, inking, and I drew this big double page spread with multiple characters. I think it had like 5 characters or something on the page, and this building in the background with lightning, and you know, these you know, like some creature characters. It was a whole big thing that I did. I put a lot of time into it. He says, listen, he's like, I got to tell you something. I said, what's that? He says, the creator saw this. He's like, don't repeat this. So that's why I'm not saying who it was. So just generically, I'm saying what happened in the story without, you know, naming anybody. But he said, listen, he says, he doesn't think that you made a better version of his characters, that your drawing makes his look not good, so he can't print it. I was like, are you serious? I was like, oh my God, because I really put like my heart and soul into that thing. And he's like, yeah, he said, because your work looks like a really improved version of what, you know, he did with all of these 4 or 5 characters on the page. And, you know, and you just blew it out of the water. So that, you know, if he puts it out, then he'll have to up his thing. And he is capable of doing that. It's just when you're putting out a full comic, you don't have time to put that kind of effort in. I did it as a poster, right? So, you know, I was like, wow, that's why he's like, so he can't publish it because it's gonna bring down what he's doing. I was like, wow, I said, should I do a simpler version? I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? It was really frustrating, honestly. You know, but it was like, but then like you take somebody else, like the work I did with Todd McFarlane, how supportive he was when I put in all that work and effort and all the detail and the drawing, and he published it. You know, Todd was awesome. Like he super published my work and put it out there and was very supportive. But I think that's because Todd is like such a king in comic books, you know, and his art style and his I think he's kind of an unbeatable artist, honestly. He's so unique and good. Jim Lee also, and Mark Silvestri, these are like masters, you know, they're master artists in the industry. Alex Ross, super master. I coined the phrase with him, like that he's like the Norman Rockwell of comics back in the day, you know?
I have a one of, I think, 375 Alex Ross. It's Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four and Wolverine. I think on the ends it's Punisher, and I forget who's on the other end, but it's so wide and it's so awesome. And I think it's,
Well, I actually have the original pencil drawing from Alex Ross of Superman and Batman flying.
Oh,
I bought it from him, like from him.
that's so cool.
Yeah, I have like a lot of collectible art, like original pencils and animation cells from Aeon Flux. If you guys haven't seen Aeon Flux, please look it up on YouTube. MTV Liquid Television, that was so awesome. Aeon Flux, and signed by the creator, Peter Chung. Oh man, he's so good. And then you know, there's a lot of people that I have art with, like original drawing from the creator, Joe Shuster, co-creator of Superman, the pencil drawing of Superman himself that he drew back in the day, and it's like a profile of Superman, like his chest puffed out. It looks really good. It's a nice piece, and in fact, that was a kind of crazy story. I was like 14 years old, and Sotheby's auction house was, you know, listed it, and I called them up, 14 years old, and I was like, hi, this is the original drawing by the co-creator of Superman, right? Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel, right? So they're like, yes. So I said, okay. I said, I'd like to get it. They're like, okay, how much do you want to bid? I said, just put me down for the maximum bid. They said, okay. I said, thanks. And I hung up. And that's it. I had no idea what I was doing. Okay, I was 14. So I remember I get a phone call, right? Like a few days later, and they're like, congratulations, you won. I was like, what? They're like, the Superman art. I'm like, I did? They're like, yes. Where would you like to send thousands of dollars? I said, I'm sorry, what? They're like, yes, you won for, I don't remember how much, it must have been like $5,000, $6,000, I mean, maybe $4,000 or $5,000 back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And you know, and that was like, you know, I'd never even heard of that amount of money in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I had like maybe $20 saved up, you know, for allowance or whatever. And I was like, can I call you back, please? You know, they're like, yes. And I remember going to my mom and dad and being like, hey, I have to tell you something that happened that's awesome. And I'm trying to like QVC sell it. And I'm like, so there was this original drawing by the Superman creator. And I had called and I bid, you see. And and my dad just said, how much? Greg, how much? That's just like, how much? And my mom was like, this sounds really exciting. My dad's like, Greg, what did you do? How much, Greg? Like, it was such a different reaction, you know? And when I told them, my dad was like, Jesus Christ. It was like that. And my mom was like, God bless my parents, man. God rest their souls. I love them and miss them so much. They were so supportive. But my mom, Pat, my dad, Martin, she would say, she was like, hey, you know, Martin, maybe it's a good investment. You never know. These things can go up in value. Maybe it's good. She saw that. Yeah, she really was supportive of the collector thing. My dad, very practical. He's like, look, I love Superman. I love comic books. My dad had Action Comics #1, 1938 first appearance of Superman when he was 6 years old. So he bought that for 10 cents back then, which sold for $16 million a few weeks ago, right? But he gave it away to a when he was a teenager, to a little kid, thinking the little kid would enjoy it, never realizing it would go up in value, you know. And back then, I think the #1 that had sold, I think the first appearance actually comes back then was like just a few $1,000s or something.
You know, like, yeah, this sounds great.
But she convinced him. So they're like, okay, look, you know, we see that we're legally obligated to have to pay the auction house, but you're going to have to work this off somehow. And, you know, like, you're going to have to, you know, but I was very grateful for them to support my collector endeavors, if you will. You know what I mean? I was like, listen, when I was a kid, I was bonkers. I didn't know, like, I was just doing whatever I would think of. Like, it didn't dawn on me to, like, you know, listen, I was very oblivious when I was younger. Okay. It's like the opposite of how I am now. It's bonkers. But I remember one day my parents went out, and this was like, I must have been like probably around like 13, 14 years old. And I was just in love with the Batman 89, you know, suit. And I just loved that thing. I thought it was so cool. And the Flash, the 1990 Flash with John Wesley Shipp and that muscle suit and the nice like fiber over it. It was so cool. And I decided that I would try to make that suit as a replica. So I had been in touch using a phone book back in the day. I made a custom mannequin for real over the phone with like the arms spread out and like, you know, to my height, you know, about 6 feet tall at the time and stuff. And, you know, and I ordered all this clay and basically when my parents went to work, they delivered the stuff and I put burlap all over the house. The mannequin was delivered. I built the mannequin. I have the clay, and I turned the living room and dining room into an enormous painter's art studio with, you know, white drapery everywhere, and the mannequin and the buckets of latex molded rubber to make casts and plaster casts. And, you know, so my parents come home and there's a big mannequin like this standing in the room. They're like, what the hell? Like, they didn't know what the hell that was. They jumped back in terror. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm making a costume. And they just look at each other like, you took over the whole house. What'd you do here? Like, what happened in the last few hours that we were at work, you know? And they looked at each other and they're like, you know, maybe he'll be an artist one day. maybe we should support this and not tear it down. You know what I'm saying? And God bless them for that, man. They really did, you know, and they let me live a very nice, supported artist's life. How many people can say that in the world, you know? So I miss them so much. I really do. It's heart-wrenching for me daily to be without them since they passed. Very, very painful, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that is a great story, though.
Man, yeah, they're great, very, very, I was very blessed to have such cool parents and really good people, you know?
Good for you, man. Good stuff. And inculcate whatever they taught you and put that into the comics, put that into, I mean, I imagine there's a bunch of stuff that you could do with that. There's a bunch of fans over here saying that the great stories. Aeon Flux is apparently was on MTV, said the things Beavis and Butthead also came from Liquid Television.
Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome. I loved Liquid Television, man. That was my jam. It was awesome.
Good stuff.
Back when MTV played music videos too, like.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of showed your age. I was like, yeah, I found him in the phone book. I was like, the phone book. It's been so long that it's probably been about 25 years maybe since so been a long time.
Oh yeah. I think the last phone book, it must. I mean, they were still delivering it. I think up until like maybe 2011 or something like that. Maybe something. Yeah, and then they just finally stopped. I think 2012 they stopped doing it and stuff. You know, so not too shabby, but yeah, it's just wild. Like it's incredible how, you know, technology has changed, and I think one of the things that a lot of the younger fans who are discovering like the Michael Keaton Batman and all this stuff, it must seem to them the way like the Beatles seemed to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was like, oh wow, there's this thing called the Beatles, this amazing group. Before I was born, I've never even heard of this, you know, and then my parents introducing me to their favorite stuff, you know, so it must seem like ancient to them, is where Batman, you know, 89 was like the first, like, my God, the whole world became Batman during that time. You know, like there wasn't anywhere you could look without there being some Batman theme, because we only had Adam West as our Batman, who was awesome and funny, you know, but the Michael Keaton was the first serious dramatic superhero. It was the first dark superhero released of our time, you know, from a comic book. And you know, then what blows my mind, I can't wrap my head around the fact that, like, I think it was The Dark Knight or Batman Begins with Christian Bale, which is the new Batman. Didn't they just celebrate like their 22-year anniversary or something crazy like that?
Yeah, I guess that was 05. Yeah. So
yeah, that's crazy that's like 22 years old. Like that's bonkers. Like because I don't know if you know, I was in the Dark Knight Rises as Bane's thug, you know.
Yeah.
So when I was in that, you know, that was like 2011, I think we shot that, you know, and then they released 2012. Yeah, 2012 it came out. Wow, I mean, I just can't believe it was such a long time ago. It just blows my mind because it feels new to me. Like that's the new Batman to me. You know what I mean? And Ben Affleck, like, oh, he just became Batman yesterday. No, Ben Affleck became Batman like 9 years ago or something crazy, right?
Oh yeah, 2016 was it's 2010 or sorry, 2016. So it's 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Look at that. That's crazy. Like time is moving differently. Like actually, wait, I'll show you. This was when I actually got punched in the face right next to Christian Bale. And you can see me right there. And then this shot here of Batman fighting Bane, and then where I get hit right over here. You know, so it was great though. But then if you look closely, like, I don't know if you guys, if this is coming out on camera or not, but this guy threw me on the tumbler on the Batmobile. Which really hurt, but it was cool to be tossed on the Batmobile.
Yeah,
you know, then at the premiere here, they lit up the New York Library with the red Bat logo, and they're over there, which is it was great. It was a wonderful time, but they killed us with the smoke inhalation. My God, they had like the smoke bombs, and I collected like the little bullets that they used on set. And like some of the props that were on the ground, I picked it all up and I saved it with my little press pass thing and the badge, I mean, to get into the theater with the bullets and all that stuff. But you couldn't breathe. Like the smoke was terrible, and people were getting hurt so bad on set, man. They broke a guy's nose and another guy's jaw, and they were carrying out in stretchers because they had it as that scene on Wall Street, down at Wall Street. They filmed it like by Trump Towers in the Wall Street area, and they also did, I think, in Philly as well. But I was in the New York version. And they had like all of us as the actors, 250 of us, I think, about to bash into 250 real police and military mixed in, but nobody told them don't really hit us. So when we bashed, they were just going like they're walloping. And we're like, we're acting, don't really hit us, you know. And this one dude, he picked me up and smashed me against the Batmobile. And I was like, oh my God, this other guy punched me in the face. Like, but it's on camera, like you can see it on YouTube. Like there's actually people were filming outside the window behind the scenes. You could see where I got hit.
That's so great. Yeah, I could picture military be like, okay, let's go. But it's
Oh
like
my God, they
I
were in it, man. It was real for them, man.
would love to do that. I didn't join until after the movie came out, and then I remember it was, I think the trailer for Batman v Superman came out, like, I think I was still in America at the time. The movie came out in 26, while I was in Kuwait. The three movies I saw deployed was Civil War,
Mm,
the Captain
wow.
America. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Thank you for your service too. Again, you know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. So Civil War is Batman v Superman, and I think it was I don't know if, trying to remember if I saw it in Kuwait or not. It was what was the DC villain movie that had come out that same year?
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I think that might have been the other one that I saw. But oh no, it was the World of Warcraft movie. I saw that.
Oh, okay, okay.
But I remember, like, when the trailer came out, I'm like on the toilet at the gym, and then like I hear like the, do you bleed? You will. And I was like, yeah. I'm like
Oh
freaking
my
out on the
God.
toilet, and that fueled my workouts for, like, that trailer fueled my workouts for like the next few months.
That's awesome. That
Yeah.
I'll tell you too. Like when they first announced Ben Affleck as the new Batman, people were furious. Like they could not see him as Batman. And once he came out, like even I was like, really? But then once he came out, I was like, oh, he does look like Bruce Wayne and Batman. Wow. And then that fight scene in the warehouse that Zack Snyder directed, my gosh, that was one of the greatest like Batman fight sequences I think I've ever seen put to film, you know, in the warehouse where he's getting stabbed, he's like, oh, you know, and he stabs the guy back and he bashes him over the, the boxes. Wow, what an accomplishment to bring that to life. And you know what's very interesting too, I'm curious about what your take is on this as well, Manny. We are so in love with fiction, right? We are so in love with something that is separate from our everyday real life, real world, right? And I'm curious what you think about this, because I was trying to contemplate, like there was someone who I had met, and he just doesn't understand comics or superheroes. He's like, why read anything but things that are real, right? And I kind of feel like as human beings, we're living entities, living creatures, living humans that all create some form of art, even if it's a refrigerator in your room. That is an actual piece of art. Your stove, your microwave, your floor, your house, your bed, your computer. These are all forms of some creation from a human, right? They're all forms of art. And in essence, human beings are temporary for how long we can live. And art seems to be something that could be immortal, the immortal reflection of ourself through artwork, right? So maybe the creations of what we call fiction are potentially more real than us because it can outlive us. So I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
There's a track in my mind. I'm going to start off by saying something that has nothing to do with it, but it goes into something that does. My friend Dan Hardwick, my first mentor in finance, love him. We were late at the office one night. I think why he liked me is because I worked longer than anyone else. And I just said, it's like, hey, like you got a family, like you don't, like, I have like the key, like I don't, you don't have to be here. Why do you sometimes like just like hang out? And I think I thought it was like him, and let's say like maybe like, oh, maybe he's having issues with his wife, maybe he's just, I know, but then I knew his family's great, but he's just like, listen, I don't have a son. Any businessman that's successful, ask them what they want. 9 times out of 10, they'll answer that they just want to pass on what they know to a worthy successor. I was like, okay, so basically his knowledge, he wants to make sure that knowledge lives on through somebody else. In that case, I was very lucky to be me. This story is fairly well traveled, so you have to like read in between the lines here. But I guess in the time of Shakespeare, he had people that, like, he wrote supposedly everything, but so there's some stories say like, oh, he didn't actually write some of these things, but I think part of where that comes from is that some people that would edit and proofread his comics or his plays make sure it's really 10 symbols for or syllables for iambic pentameter. A lot of times they would take out just one line of his and they would put in a line of their own. They wouldn't tell anyone, they wouldn't take credit for it. They just knew that his work was so legendary that it would be studied for hundreds of years, and it is. And if they just put a piece of them into one of his plays, then they too would live on forever. So I think that what you're saying is correct. Like these things will outlive us. Like my DeCat, like that is my baby. That is my like I've done promotion and have deals with like DEVVE and DEFINITY and VeVe, and these companies are great. And I even own some of those companies, partial the shares, not VeVe yet. One day if they go on NASDAQ, I will. But I've never really done that for something that I own. So for DeCat, like I'm gonna work harder and as you know, like nobody's gonna work harder for Gakido than you are. Everyone else is kind of doing it like for maybe because they like it, but also because they get something out of it too. Like I promote VeVe not because I own any shares of VeVe. I have the OMI token, and it's also I know what VeVe is and what it's going to be, and as they succeed and a bunch of people come in, so will I. Like they'll follow me too.
Right. It's like with Gakido, again, like I would say, you know, like Brandon is the co-creator and writer, is in love with this stuff. I am, as the co-creator artist, I'm in love with this stuff for Beyond Comics, or, you know, creating Ravedactyl, codename Justice, myself. Like these are our children, these are our babies. And only the creators, I think, put in that same love, just like you did with DeCat. There's nobody who cares as much, you know, as much as we do, because it is, like you said, you know, the continuity or the continuation of us being projected through our work and everything that we embody or know, right? And I mean, I know for me, like I was saying earlier, when I was much younger, I didn't understand, you know, life, comic books were, you know, just good guys, bad guys. You know, you didn't understand the nuances about things, you know what I'm saying, and the corruption, and you know who's puppeting things. And ultimately, you know, as I was a work in progress, growing from, you know, being young, putting out, you know, a comic book to where I am today, you know, I learned, oh, wait a minute, we're all human beings and brothers and sisters of Earth. You know, none of us know what we look like when we're born. We're just alive. You know, then people give us names and identities, and oh, you know, we have to not like you because you're different than you, and you're different than him, and he's different than. That's nonsense. We're all brothers and sisters of Earth, and we all need to kind of team up and help each other as best as possible. I really wish that was the case. You know, I think that in Earth, though, it seems to be like a cycle. You know, it seems to be like this kind of repetitive thing where you could only improve yourself if you care enough to. But life itself will always have these problems because it seems to be somewhat of like a school where it has to have obstacles and challenges that you need to learn and overcome. The thing is that when you get older and you do understand it and you try to overcome it, then you have to deal with all the new people coming in who are experiencing it for the first time, making the same mistakes that you did already. So it's like this, it's like a video game. It's like, you know, you have to play it from start to finish, but people have dreams and desires to make it this paradise. But I don't think it could ever become a permanent paradise, just temporary, because the whole point of it is to grow and learn and keep, you know, kind of overcoming obstacles, it seems, you know what I mean? So it's difficult. It's hard to deal with. Life can be very challenging and very hard.
This happened in how many acid trips ago, where I just saw that Earth is like a game, and humanity, and we're all playing the same game. It's life, and it's humanity as a whole has figured out this amazing tech tree of, okay, we have automobiles and radio and color TV, and it's just, and a lot of people use those things to, like, you know, internet, like watch cat videos, and I do too. I love cats, but you know, you could use it to make yourself super smart and better, and like to become successful is doable. It's not easy. It's difficult, but it's doable. Like you just have to like hone in, you don't lock in, as the kids say, and it's doable. And success looks different for a lot of people. Some people, it's like being married and having a family and just having kids and coaching soccer. For
Yeah.
others, it's building an empire. But I think that as humanity goes forward, hopefully more people, like, I think now, looking back from like even just in America, okay, like blacks and whites couldn't get married, 100 years ago, or like 80 years ago, and now, like, there's all mixed babies and stuff, so I think eventually, and granted, this is America. Obviously there's still women and gays and whatever are treated as second-class citizens in different parts of the world, but I think over the course of time that those countries will adopt some, and I don't want to say, like, go like too woke, because obviously you can go too far that way too, but I feel like in the next maybe 100 years, with the help of AI, you have I know there's that big difference between like the 1% and everyone else, and that gap is widening, but that rising tide, I think, raises all ships. And like, for example, in 2000, you had the World Health Organization that said, okay, we have this many people that are illiterate, and we want to like cure abject poverty by, like, cut it in half by like 2020, and they did it in like by 2013. And so the amount of people in abject poverty is less, the amount of illiterate people are less, and now you have again, AI, which is going to help kind of like shortcut, and we could speed run a lot of technologies. And I'm very bullish on humanity over the next 100 years.
Yeah, it's like it's a kind of it's scary, because I think like AI can really be of use if used as a tool to help, but unfortunately it's being abused where it's creating in place of a human. That's bad. And that's, I think that's dangerous. And then I think also the fact that it's taking all the work of humans, duplicating it and doing it in place of humans, that's horrific, because human beings need to be able to survive and work, and they have kind of created something to ultimately take away a means to an end, for human people if abused, and people can't help themselves, unfortunately. It seems too many can't. So it's like, I know, like, for me as a traditional artist, I think I had mentioned in the past, there was some guys at a bar, and they happened to see my artwork on the phone, and they're like, "Oh, that's great artwork," and so, but AI did that, right? I was like, no, I'm an artist, I drew it. AI did not do this. They're like, "You're a liar," and the guy wanted to fight me, like in the bar, like for real, like actually beat me up, thinking I'm lying to him. "Don't you lie to my face. I know AI when I see AI." I said, "I swear, I'm really an artist. I could show you." No, and his dad had to come out and pull him away. Like, wow, you're like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's going to be a very rough transition, to say the least. And I think it will ultimately become commonplace to use AI, but the transition period is rough. And I kind of feel like, we're kind of the kind of bookend to kind of close out human created products. You know what I'm saying? We're kind of closing it out. So if we could close it out successfully on the top, at least we'll be known for creating characters from scratch. And thank gosh, I have a track record to prove that I've been drawing for the last 25 years of my life, and more than that, in comics. So people are like, oh, they could trace back, oh, he really did create that by hand, it wasn't AI. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing, where new artists who come will constantly be accused of AI, and if they film themselves drawing, they're gonna say that was AI generated. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, wow. So the only proof we have is like all the videos, like even me dealing with the celebrities. People are going to think it's AI. Luckily, I posted those videos before AI, so they know I actually really did work with the celebrities, and I really did meet Tom Cruise and Jim Carrey and all these terrific, awesome, people, before the AI became a thing. So it's like time-stamped as proof, but after now, my gosh, I mean, it's just, you can't tell. It's crazy.
I think what is probably gonna, I don't want to say it's gonna need to happen. There'll be people like me that'll volunteer this up in general, but when you sign up for any type of AI, Sora, Grok, ChatGPT, like I think people eventually, like writers and artists, should be like, okay, give us access, like let us view only access to your accounts. Like, what have you been? Because at the end of Stranger Things, on the they finished the series and they had like an extra episode of behind the scenes stuff. In one of the behind the scenes scenes, you see like ChatGPT, like that the Duffer Brothers were using that to like help write the end of the series. So
Oh wow,
whatever. But
I did not know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So for me, I'm very, very proud that I have not used ChatGPT in anything. And what if I ever do get accused out eventually, like, hey, here's my entire ChatGPT history, and some things are a little wild in there, but for the most part, it's all PG-13 rated. Every now and then it gets a little R, but you can see that there's absolutely zero words or anything having to do here with what's on my page. This all came from me. And
yeah, no, I mean,
like,
exactly. You know that you're right, and that's something important. Now, see, I've tried to test ChatGPT with certain things like that. So, for example, if I have an outline for something, I might spend maybe 45 minutes perfecting the sentence, right?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, here's my general outline. I need to turn this page into a 1-paragraph synopsis. And I know how I would do that, right? So I gave it to ChatGPT so it could understand my writing style and what I'm trying to say in the page. And I said, turn this into 1 paragraph. So it did it, and it is shocking that it was able to do it the way I would have done it. That shocked me. That it was able to it saved me 45 minutes condensing my paragraph. I just tried this. And that is something that I'm like, well, wow, that's wild. So I feel like that's an ethical way to do it because I wrote the whole page and it's just condensing it. But if I asked it to write the page, I feel that's kind of not ethical in comparison.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Right. And like, I always create my own characters. I don't ask it to create a character. I say, no, this is my creation. Here's the art. Here's the images. Now turn it into this or make it move. So like, for example, like the animated cartoon that I did of my comic book, those are all my actual hand-drawn pages. And then we used animation tools, editing tools, and a little bit of AI for motion. So if the character's arm is here and I need him to go here, I would draw this image and then that image, and I'd say, okay, animate it from here to here, and then it would do the in-between. You see, now that's an ethical way to use it as a tool. That's okay, but the original art is drawn from the comic book. It's not AI. That's very important. And then I also chose in the VeVe version of the comic book, for Gekido, I listed in the actual credits page over here, that this is hand drawn and that only AI was used in, for example, like an advertisement or maybe a partial background or something like that. In the animation, but not in the comic book itself, so to speak, but maybe for an ad or maybe for like a blast of light, special effect, something like that. That's like using it like Photoshop or a tool. That to me seems acceptable. However, when Photoshop first launched, they thought that was, not okay. Or when computer, art can, that's computer. But no, it's a human being making this stuff. You know what I mean? So it's going to be about ethics, how people choose to ethically use it or not. And that's where it kind of becomes complicated.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be more accepted also as like back in the day, like, oh, this is a filtered photo. And now like almost every photo of like people on the internet is filtered in mostly some way.
You know what?
I don't care.
This is killing me on the dating apps with the girls, okay? This is messing me up, man. I'm serious, because when I go on a dating app, there's this girl, she looks like just flowers. I'm like Charlie Brown with the little redhead girl and the little hearts floating around, and then and you're swiping and you're seeing the different photos, right? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then you see the real photo. Like, thank God they put the real one. And you're like, oh, that's not in that looks different. This does not match the other photos, and it's shocking because, it's just like, it's kind of almost like you're disappointing somebody. So on dating apps, I use current photos of myself because I don't want to disappoint somebody and make them think, you know, I'm like 18 years old when I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Or like, I don't put a photo of me, you know, with like John Cena's like Hulk body or The Rock, and then you see how I actually am, which is okay, you know, but it's not that, you know, it's not Chris Hemsworth, you know, but that's okay. I'm a normal dude. So if you want a normal dude, here I am, you know what I'm saying? And you don't disappoint anybody. But they're filtering the hell out of this stuff. It's crazy, you know?
Yeah.
I've seen it where, so I've had different, but I feel like Christian Bale sometimes, where sometimes I'm really fat, sometimes I'm really in shape. But yeah,
Wow.
I try to do current photos as well.
Yeah,
Question from
yeah.
Omar before we end. Would Cleo do a crossover in the DeCat universe? I think we could do it if you would agree. Yeah.
That's fun. That'd be cool. We've talked about doing like a
Yeah.
crossover with our characters and stuff, and you know, and I think we already told the fans that I drew one of the alternate covers for your upcoming
Yes.
DeCat comic book #1.
Yeah,
So
I can't wait. So there's a couple of different covers. I don't know if that one's probably going to be it's going to be either uncommon, rare, or ultra rare. That
cool.
cover. Yeah, so we're going to have it as one of those.
What makes you decide which will be the secret rare or ultra?
I don't know yet. I have no idea yet. There's there's one guy, True Tech Junkie, that has done a cover for us as well.
Cool.
I same thing. I don't know where we're gonna put them. I don't know where it's gonna be.
How many covers do you have right now?
So we have 3 covers. We need 5. So we just 2 more to do, which is fine. And 1 or 2 will be by the artist, and then the artist will probably do a 1 of 1 as well, like you're doing.
Right. You could do also like the 6th airdrop cover for those who collect all 5, like I did.
We're gonna do, if you get the secret rare and you hold it, we'll say, hey, send us your address. We'll mail you a physical comic.
That's cool. That's really
cool. And then we'll do like airdrop, and we were gonna do DeCat tokens, but I feel like if people get them, they might just sell them, and we don't want sell pressure on the token. So we might say, like, we might just give them like USDC or something. If you
what would the sell pressure be? Can you describe that?
Yeah, so if let's say like, oh, you completed the set, let's give you, you know, some DeCat tokens, like, because DeCat's a crypto, and you know, we'll give you like $10 or something. But if that happens and people get it, then if they don't want the DeCat token, like, hey, I want the comic, I don't care about this, I'm just gonna swap it out or sell it for Ethereum, use that Ethereum to buy some OMI, and then they'll buy some like VeVe comics. That is that them selling would create like the sell pressure on the token. So
you're saying like the value would go down.
Yeah, and they'd be selling like a couple dollars worth. It wouldn't really be that much, but it's just, if any action is on there, we'd want it to be buys. So
okay,
maybe we would give them like USDC or something, or maybe we would give them. So we're not sure, and David's got to approve the utility as well. So we've got to do that. But yeah, because the first one, because we have like 19 first appearances in the first comic, so everyone's going to want it. And now the NFT market's heating up. We'll still probably do 2026.
I just had like the most craziest idea though for doing one more cover of DeCat, you know, with the red scarf and the whole thing. Yeah, if let me know if you're able to, you know, we could maybe do a cover together, one final cover to just blow people's minds. It just hit me recently.
For a future one, we've spent a lot on this already, so
I can imagine.
We could justify it. But for a future one, especially for the crossover, we'll hire you to do it.
That'd be awesome. That'd be fun, man. That'd be so good.
We could do that almost at any time, because like humans are in the story, so like already. So we could do that. The second one is kind of already, but for the third one, we could probably do that, because
you know what, I would want to like draw a cameo of us in your comic, just somewhere in the background or something funny, like Hitchcock put himself in the movie. You know what I mean?
I put Justin, the CEO of VeVe Korea. He's got a cameo in like one panel in this. You'll be like, it's the only one that kind of looks like him. Like, you'll be able to tell it's him.
That's cool. Have you met him in person?
Really cool. But yeah, I think I have a idea for us to be in it in the third book, because
cool.
Yeah, it's a third book, because in like there's big battles in every comic book, but the second one we have a big battle. And the third one, it shows like the aftermath. And there's these two soldiers, although they're cats, they're cat soldiers. So I don't, unless you want to be a cat. So there is a, yeah, we
I'll be a
could do
furry.
it on the, because it's like because there is a Randy as a cat version already. So obviously we'd want to be humans, but in this one there is two like cat soldiers that are just like on cleanup duty. They're like cleaning up like the dead bodies of the enemy.
Oh wow!
And there's like, man, we gotta like, we gotta clean up. Everyone's partying. We're on cleanup duty. This is bullshit.
That's maybe we could draw like the viewers. Maybe like one of the viewers, randomly select one of the viewers watching and draw them as like one of the people or the bodies or something to give them a cameo in the comic or something fun.
I had I don't know if you know Tammy. Do you know? Oh, I think you met Tammy in New York. She's the blonde at the gold logo party.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, she's cool.
Tell me about her again.
She owns like 5% of the channel, and let me show you her. Tammy Hannah. Why does she have rocks as her profile picture? So this was a couple years ago.
Wait, hold on, hold it a little lower for me. Yeah. Hold on, that's Tammy.
Yeah,
I think we put it closer to the camera.
That was her in 2025.
Okay,
So
I think so. Yeah.
She's a little blonder, got more glasses now.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. So she owns 5% of the channel. She's a human character, and I think we meet her in like the third book.
That's cool.
She's in it for a while.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we could make you both of us a character, I guess.
That's cool.
In probably the third one, because there's not too many humans in there right now. There's these humans that give orders and stuff, but we have a couple of people that we can do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. So we're gonna have some people from the DECAT community. If they hold like a certain amount of tokens, they'll get a character in the comic.
Cool.
Because we have a couple whales that have like $30,000 worth of the token.
Oh wow.
Like, okay, so yeah, they're in it, and this is why it's taken so long too, because we had to add them into the first one, and now.
When you got them involved, did they like transfer like 30,000 in USD to you, and then you transferred?
No, they didn't like. They just hold a lot of the token, and we wanted to reward like the token holders for holding and not selling. So that's why they didn't pay that for the characters that did pay to be in it. They just paid like USDC.
Okay.
Yeah. So Crappy Bird, and then Chaos on the Chains, and then Sharby. So those three. Pro the Doge, he's just a big holder of DECAT. So like he's like the 16th top holder. So he's in there like for free. And he's also like he's a bit like he'll cross promote it for us because
that's good.
He's a big deal. Like, he's got a ton of followers. He's Pro the Doge, he's the one that you did the cover of. So I'll have to introduce you guys next time because he's the dog character. He's the one that you did the cover.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, he's do you know him? Like, do you know of him?
Tell me his name again.
So he's the Dogecoin millionaire. This is what he looks like as a human.
Wait, let me see. Was he at the New York party? I don't think so.
No, he's like Brazilian, but he's the guy that became famous because he put in like $100,000 into like Dogecoin and it went up like crazy. So he became the Dogecoin millionaire.
Wow, that's cool.
So he has a bunch of DECAT tokens, and I was like, hey, we're doing this comic. You're such a big holder. We're putting a lot of the whales in. Do you want to be in? He's like, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh, so cool.
And he's the top three characters are probably going to be Randy the cat, Maria the mollusk, and Pro the Doge. Like he's written so well.
That's awesome. I didn't even know. So when I drew him, I didn't know it was him that I was drawing as the character. That's cool.
So I don't even know if he knows that he's going to be on the cover.
Dude, we gotta do an intro, man.
Yeah. I gotta tell him, hey, VeVe, like you're on the cover, and that'll be really cool.
Do a like a text intro or something like that. We'll surprise him together.
He doesn't have a US number. He's I tell him, do you have Telegram?
I have Telegram, but WhatsApp I use like better. You know, is he on WhatsApp?
I'm sure he is. I could just text him and just be like, "Hey, can we do this?"
Sure.
And then yeah, I'll keep you posted.
Great.
The better. Yeah.
That'd be fun. Oh, I bet he's gonna be so happy. That's really cool.
We actually haven't had we could probably do a community contest for a cover if Wubba Wubba. If you want to try to draw one, I'll give you some of the panels so you can see some of the characters. And then yeah, if you want, just let me know. Wubba Wubba, shoot me a message. Anyway, I do have another meeting I have to run to, so let's end it here.
Sure.
And then I'll obviously talk about your 1 of 1 throughout the week. And then it ends on Friday at 3 p.m. Right?
Yes, Eastern time. Yes, I believe so. And yeah, and guys, if you get a chance, please check out the 1 of 1. Do you have a link you could put in somewhere, like in the description, so they could click it to check out the 1 of 1 piece?
Yeah, if you there's a link down below to use to sign up for VeVe, or you can just you go there and you get it through there, and then you can go and get Cleo.
Look for this art, guys. The artist works.
Yeah, it's very cool. She's very voluptuous. She's very
oh, thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really dope. So I can't wait to
first appearance, Kakito #1, 1 of 1. Make sure to bid. And remember, guys, you won't see who the high bidder is until the last day. So bid your maximum amount and hopefully you'll be the winner.
Hell yeah. All right, everyone. You'll have a good one. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashy.